Hi guys, I am here from Pakistan, Hamad, and my friend from USA, Tim Jones.
Hello.
So today in 2022, the team to visit Pakistan while he's sitting in a chair and enjoying his beautiful morning. Are you ready?
I am.
Tim?
I'm looking forward to visiting Pakistan. So,
have you any visa?
I have a passport. So I don't know if I need to get a visa to go to your country. I will get a visa because my wife and I definitely do that. Yeah.
So you should apply for the visa. Then I will show you Pakistan.
There you go. I like it. I like that very much. Very, very much.
So let's start the video.
Where is that?
This little note.
That was amazing. Were you able to see that, Hafiz? Hamad, I mean?
Yes, why not? Wow. Whenever you will visit those white mountains.
I enjoyed the comment that one person made that said they make the American Rocky Mountains look like small hills. And I think they're right. I knew that Pakistan's northern portion was very mountainous. I guess I did not remember that it was so close to the Himalayas. I should have. I'm looking at a map on my wall, and there it is. And of course, the Himalayas are the tallest mountains in the world. So that's quite amazing. So I have to ask you a question, my friend. Have you ever skied?
No, it is a very much skillful job, and I'm just afraid of doing those.
Well, let me tell you, since you shared this video, I, Tim, at the ripe old age of 67, tomorrow, I am going skiing. I'm not going skiing in the mountains of the Himalayas, but I am skiing at a place about 2 hours from me, and it will be the first time that I will have skied in 7 years. So I do not know what to expect. I may be falling many times, but I'm going to go ski and see how I do. So wish me luck.
So best of luck. And you are going to somewhere mountains?
Yes. I live in a state called Washington State. If someone were to look at a map of the United States, we have 50 states. You might think of them as provinces, but we call them states. And in the top left corner of the United States, if you don't include Alaska, Alaska is way, way, way northwest. Other than that, in the mainland of the United States, the top left state is Washington State. And in the middle of the state, going north and south, in the middle of the state, are these mountains called the Cascade Mountains. And there is some wonderful skiing there. And I'm hoping to find some of that tomorrow. I know where I'm going. There will be plenty of snow. So, but I'm not a very good skier.
It will be a good practice for you because you have to visit Pakistan.
That's right. This will be my warm up.
Yes. Pakistan, in the northern areas, there is a point where 3 mountain ranges of the world, and Karakoram, Hindu Kush, and third is Himalaya, meet at one point. The point is in Pakistan. Wow. These 3 ranges.
That's amazing.
And out of 14 biggest mountains in the world, Pakistan have 8 out of them. 8,000, which have height 8,000 plus.
That's amazing. I had no idea. I would have guessed Nepal or maybe the northern edge of India. I had no idea that so many of the tallest mountains were in your country. Now,
yes, and second highest mountain of the world is in Pakistan, which is K2.
Oh yeah. Here's an interesting thing. I know of K2. There is an American ski manufacturer. They make skis, and the name of that manufacturer is K2, after the mountain. So, So how many hours by bus or train or car would it take you to get to the region that we just saw with all those mountains? How long a journey would that be?
From Islamabad, if you will go from the plane, it is a flight of 1 hour. And if you will go from car or bus, it will take you about 10 to 12 hours to reach the region Gilgit Baltistan, which we say.
I got you. Now, is Lahore and is Islamabad, are they close to sea level, or are they at altitude, either of those cities?
No, Islamabad is a plateau. Do you know what is plateau? The area, plain area in between some mountains.
Yes.
And from Islamabad, the northern part of Pakistan begins where there are mountains. And Lahore is not a mountainous area, but it is a plain area here in Pakistan. The big city which is close to the sea level is Karachi.
Karachi.
It is a big city.
Yes. That's your big port city. Yes, I gotcha. Okay, so where I live near a city called Seattle. Seattle. And it's a beautiful city. It's one of the great cities of the United States. It is at sea level. It is right along the edge of the water. And I live about an hour from there. But I'm pretty much at sea level too, because I'm on an island. But I can look out at the Cascade Mountains, the ones that I was talking about. And there's one mountain that I can see from my house called Mount Baker, which is about, I have to do my conversion. It's about 11,000 feet. 11,000 feet. So that would be about 3,500 meters, roughly tall. So it's nowhere near the height of the mountains we just saw in this video. But it's covered in snow all year, all 12 months, even in July and August, it's covered in snow. So I can see snow from my house in the middle of summer. Isn't that pretty amazing?
So I'm guessing that you have sea, you have snow, you have mountains, and there is a precious life which you have. I think so.
We're very lucky. We're very lucky. It's not many people that can look out at water, look at salt water, and then look out at mountains and look out at forest all in one view. We're just very, very lucky. There are some disadvantages. To have a view like ours means we are not right near a city. So we can't just walk down the street and get coffee or have lunch or breakfast. In a place like Lahore, it's all right there. We have to get in a car and drive some distance to get to shops and restaurants and things like that. But we're still very, very lucky and very, very grateful. Where I live, most of the people are older. Many of the people are retired. Excuse me for coughing. So it's a place that people move to when they're ready to kind of enjoy traveling and seeing life and stuff like that. So one of the things that we hope to do is go to see Pakistan, and you can tour us around your country. So I have a question for you. If we were to spend, let's say, 10 days in Pakistan and you were our tour guide, and let's say we rented a car, so we could drive it or you could drive it, but we rented a car, where would you take us?
Yes, well, it is a very important question. Well, Pakistan has mountains. It has also some deserts and some beautiful plains. So we will go to the northern areas of Pakistan where there are mountains, there are scenery, snow, and some of the areas, some deserts here in some Baltistan and in the middle of the Punjab. So I think so. It will be a very good tour for you if you visit Pakistan.
Okay. Are you a good tour guide?
Yes, I can be if you guide me.
Well, I like to ask questions. I'm always curious about things. Now,
that is a good thing.
Would that be okay if my wife and I, because we like to learn about other countries. Pakistan and the United States are very different countries, but as we've learned, there's a lot of things that they have in common. But we would be interested in learning about the things that are different. So we would be fascinated to learn about the culture and about your religion and just how people live. And I understand that the way people live in a big city like Lahore is probably very, very different from how they live in a small village. Very, very different. Well, that sounds very, very interesting. I did notice in the video, in the early part of the video, they had a lot of people singing and dancing. And I saw a lot of women and men together, and the women were not veiled. The women were not wearing burqas. Does that mean that these people were perhaps they were not Muslim, or what do I interpret from seeing images of some of the women and the men together dancing and dressed a little differently? What does that tell me?
I think so. You are saying about the video about Kailash Valley, the mountain areas of Chitral, where there is a tribe living over there, and they have some specific cultures, and where people visit amazing culture which they have. And the music culture here in Pakistan is very common. Some Muslims say that music is not good, but overall here in Pakistan there is a very good music culture here in Pakistan. There are good singers here in Pakistan which Pakistan have produced, and they are listened in all over India and Pakistan, the subcontinent.
Mm-hmm. Do young people in Pakistan like to listen to what I would call rock and roll music? Do you know?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a group called the Beatles? The Beatles.
It is an English band.
Yes. They were in the 1960s, and they had so many popular songs in America and England, all over the world. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. People knew them by their first names, and they were called the Beatles. Two of them are still alive and still performing. Two of them have passed away, but they are a very famous British rock and roll group. And I was curious if you had ever heard of them or their music.
I have heard a lot of time about Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. He's very talented too.
He's famous for his dance, I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you like me to demonstrate the moonwalk right here?
Yes.
Because I can't do it. I can't do it. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm not going to do a moonwalk. Sorry.
Okay.
All righty. Well, that was a fun video. You have a beautiful country. I know it mostly focused on the mountainous northern part, but I'm sure many parts of your country sound just stunningly beautiful. And it's nice to see, because unfortunately, I would say most Americans don't know a lot about Pakistan. We know a little bit more about India than we know about Pakistan, just because we're exposed to it more on television. But it's really nice to see a country that I can tell you're very proud of, and you should be proud of your country. Sometimes I'm proud of my country, not always. We've had some challenges in our country, but hopefully we'll get through them. Hamad, is there anything else you wanted to ask about or tell me?
When you are going to do the virtual tour of your state, Seattle, or your country,
yes.
Seattle.
Oh yes. Well, if you were to come to my country, we would have to spend a couple days in Seattle. It's a beautiful city right along the water. There is a tall tower called the Space Needle. The Space Needle. It's just a very tall building that has a revolving restaurant at the top of it. It goes round and around the restaurant. And you can see a view of the city. You can see a view of the Cascade Mountains. You can see a view of the Olympic Mountains. Yes, we have two different mountain chains. Looking east, it's the Cascade Mountains. Looking west, it's the Olympic Mountains. And we would take a ferry boat ride while you were here. These are these big ships that people can bring their cars onto, and they take them to the various islands in the region where we live. Our part of the country, in the summer, it's very sunny and beautiful. In the wintertime, it's gray and it rains a lot and it's very cloudy. Like today, I look out and I see nothing but fog and cloud. I can't even see 200 meters in front of me because it's just all fog. That's what it's like this time of year. But in the summertime, which is when you would want to come, it's just beautiful. And we're not far from a city called Vancouver, Canada. And that is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, Vancouver, Canada. They had the Winter Olympics there in 2012.
So what food, if I come to the Seattle, what are some famous food which you eat?
Well, I don't know about famous foods, but coffee. You know what coffee is. You have coffee in Pakistan.
Yes, I'm fond of coffee.
The world's largest coffee restaurant chain in the world is called Starbucks. And Starbucks coffee started in Seattle. And there is a store that in the summertime, there's endless lines of people trying to get in. It's the very first Starbucks store ever created. And that's in downtown Seattle. And a lot of people like to go visit it. One place we would go to, which is very near the very first Starbucks, is a place called Pike's Place Market. And it's just this collection of small little shops, dozens and dozens of small shops right along the Seattle waterfront. And people just come there to buy flowers or to buy fruit or to buy just odd gifts and things. And it's just a fun place where there's lots and lots of people. And that's called Pike's Place Market because it's on a street called Pike's Place. We also have, one of the largest airplane manufacturers in the world is called Boeing. Have you ever heard of Boeing?
Yes, Boeing.
That's headquartered in Seattle. Well, they moved their headquarters to Chicago, but most of their operations are still in Seattle. And they have one of the largest buildings in the world, just a little north of Seattle. And it's a place where they manufacture, where they build planes. And I've taken friends from other countries on the tour of this factory, and it is huge, just gigantic. You cannot believe it's not super tall, it's long because they have to fit. They are building many planes at the same time. So that's another thing that we could take you to. There'd be no shortage of things to show you. That's for sure.
So it will be a fun. I think so.
I think so. I'm a good tour guide. I'm a very good tour guide.
Okay.
All righty.
That is nice.
Okay.
Okay, guys. If you have any questions from Tim Jones, you can comment in our comment section, and we will ask more about United States to the team. He's a very good guide. He's saying.
Thank you, Hamad.
Yes.
You have a good day. I'm going to stop the recording now. Bye-bye.